Hello, beautiful people, and welcome. In today's video, we're going to be going through the Unit 2 practice test for Math Foundations. Now, this test covers modules 1, 2, and 3. So if you want to head over to my website, let's see if I can do this really quickly. There it is. It's going to look a little bit different. Looks like I did the whole background scene, but here is your, if you go to teachingsilvanusmath.com, there is your site, and then on the left-hand side, you're going to have all of the modules that will be on the test minus Module 4. We're not going to be doing Module 4 on this unit test. Alrighty, let's go ahead and jump back, and let's get started on our review. As always, I am human. If I make a mistake, please let me know where the mistake occurs so that way I may learn from it. Question number 1 says, what is a zero pair? A zero pair is, you can say different things. Now, I am okay if you simplify your answers. What I mean by that is, if you want to say a zero pair is 1 negative and 1 positive, combined to equal 0. Now, it doesn't have to be a number. So in your explanation, if you say a number, a positive number and a negative number, well, that's not necessarily true. If I have a negative 5 and a positive 20, that doesn't equal to 0. So 1 negative and 1 positive combined are 0. Question number 2, when adding two negative numbers together, like a negative and a negative, the answer will always be, well, let's double check. If I have negative 5 and I have a negative 7. That means I have 5 negatives and I have 7 negatives. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have negative 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Notice I do not have any pluses. All of these are negative. That means there are no zero pairs, meaning there's nothing for me to cancel out. So I just have a lot of negatives. So when adding two negative numbers together, your answer will be negative. Question number 3 is asking you to solve. So I have 5 pluses and I have 3 minuses. Always take the number next to the symbol to the left of it. So don't worry that this is a plus. This plus just means and. So I have 5 and negative 3. So how would we do this? Well, we have 5 positives. I have 3 negatives. I have 0 pairs, 1 0 pair, 2 0 pairs, 3 0 pairs. That means those go away. What am I left over with? I am left over with 2. 2 what? 2 positives left over, and that's going to be your answer. You can put the plus in front of the 2 if you want. You don't have to. It is your choice. Let's do another one. This one says negative 4. So I have 4 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have 7 pluses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got to do our zero pair thing. So here's 1 0 pair, that goes away. Here's 2 0 pairs, that goes away. Here's 3 0 pairs, that goes away. Here's 4 0 pairs, that goes away. What are we left over with? We are left over with 3. 3 what? 3 positives left over. You can write your answer as 3 or you can write your answer as a plus 3. That is your choice. Let's move on to number 5. Number 5 says that we have 13 negatives and 13 positives. So negative 13 plus 13, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 negatives, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pluses. One thing you should notice that there are 13 minuses and 13 pluses. So I'm going to have 13, 5, 6, 7, 8. I ran out. Hold on. I'm just going to. So I'm going to have 13 0 pairs. So since I have 13 0 pairs, a 0 pair equals 0. For 1 negative, 1 positive gives you 0. So therefore, my answer is 0. All of these cross out to give me 0. Number 6 is asking 12 negatives and 3 negatives. Again, we are adding, so this is negative and negative. So if I have a negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I have negative 3, notice there are no zero pairs. Because there's no positives, there's no pluses, that means my answer will be negative. Because I have negatives and I have more negatives, that means I'm going to have a negative answer. So how many total negatives do I have? I have 12, 13, 14, 15 negatives. All right, let's move on to number, I almost said number 9. It's number 7. I have 9 positives and 3 minuses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. You can already see that I'm going to have 3 zero pairs. They go away. What is left over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 positives is left over, and that is your answer. All right, let's move on. This one says negative 9 and negative 8. Negative 9, negative 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, notice no pluses, so no zero pairs. I just have a bunch of negatives, so that means my answer is going to be negative. So I have 9 negatives and I have 8 negatives, so that means I have a total of, what do I have? 17 negatives left over. So your answer for that one is negative 17. I'm trying to go through these as quickly as possible with information that you're going to need. 2 negatives next to each other make a. Okay, so 2 negatives next to each other. We're talking about negative and a negative. So if we have a negative and a negative, that gives me what? 2 negatives next to each other give me a positive. Sometimes you're going to see this as well. So like 5 minus a negative 3. So a negative and a negative, they make a positive. So the answer here is positive. Here's the example, a negative and a negative. What do they make? They make a positive. So this right here is 6 plus 9, which is 15. Let's do another one. So now I have 10 minus a negative 10. 2 negatives, they make a positive. So that means I have 10 plus 10, which gives me 20. All right, let's move on to the next one. When multiplying a negative number by a positive, the answer will always be when multiplying or dividing. If they are opposite, they will always give you a negative answer. If they are the same, they will give you a positive answer. So multiplying, dividing, opposite signs give you a negative answer. Here's your negative answer. So here, this is opposite sign. So negative 3 times 2. This is 3 times 2 is 6. And then negative here because opposite signs. Here we have 1 times negative 6. Again, opposite signs. So my answer is negative 6. When multiplying a negative times a negative, your answer will always be, again, now these are the same. Same sign when you're multiplying, dividing. Same sign means positive answer. This is only when you're adding, this is only when you're multiplying or dividing, okay? So these will give you a positive answer. Negative 4 times negative 5. This is 2 positives, 2 negatives that give you a positive. So I'm going to have a positive answer. So I have 4 times 5, which is 20, and positive 20 is my answer. Let's try this again. This one here should have a parenthesis around it. So I have negative 3 times a negative 2. So that is, again, negative 3 times a negative 2. So that means I have a positive 6. This one here is now Oh, you know what? This maybe shouldn't have a minus. This is back to subtraction. I'm actually going to skip these ones because I feel like they're in the improper order. I think that will just confuse you. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. Or I will remove them. Fill in the blank. An integer means number. A blank is an integer, so integer means number. So a blank is a number less than 0. A negative is a number less than 0. A blank is a number greater than 0. A positive number is a number greater than 0. Let's go ahead and solve these again. Opposite sign will give you a negative answer. So right away, you guys, if it's multiple choice, you can do process of elimination. Since these are opposite, you know you're going to have a negative answer. So the positives, they go away. So now you're left with either a -1 or a -6. Well, what is 3 times 2? 3 times 2 is 6. Opposite sign means you're going to have a negative answer. So that means -6 is your answer. Let's try another one. -5 times a -2, same sign, means you're going to have a positive answer. So since you're going to have a positive answer, you're going to go and eliminate the negative ones. And so then you're going to ask, what is 5 times 2? 5 times 2 is 10. You know you're going to have a positive answer, so it's going to be positive 10 is your answer. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to go ahead and skip these ones. These are exactly the same process of elimination. Look at your sign, do the math. Let's jump to division. For dividing, you're going to do the same thing. If the signs are different, these are going to be negative. If the signs, you can put that in a thinking bubble, are going to be the same, answer is going to be positive. And then you just divide. You can also rewrite your division. 3 times what is equal to -12? Well, here's the thing. These are opposite signs. You know your answer is going to be negative. So for our answer, we know we're going to have a negative. Well, what is 3 times what is equal to 12? 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So that's going to be our answer. And we know we have a negative in front of it. Try this again. Again, opposite signs. This is -6 times what is equal to 36. Since opposite signs, we know our answer is going to be negative. So 6 times what is 36? 6 times 6 is 36, and that is our answer, -6. These here are the same sign. Same sign means positive answer. So 7 times what is 14? We know our answer is going to be positive. 7 times 2 is 14, so we have 2 as our answer. All right, let's go ahead and continue. We have 17v minus 5v. This is combining like terms. So that means I have 17 v's. So 1, and they're positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now, if you don't need to do the writing of the things out, that's fine. You don't have to. I have 5 v's. They are negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so then we're going to do like terms. Not like terms. Combining, what are we doing? 0 pairs. Here's 1 0 pair, 2 0 pairs, 3 0 pairs, 4 0 pairs, 5 0 pairs. So what am I left over with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I am left with 12 V's that are positive, and that is your answer. You are combining like terms. If you have more than a few terms, for example, here I have 3W and 2W, you're going to want to write them together with the symbol that it is attached with. And that is easier, so then you can draw out. So for example, I have a -4a and I have a positive 7a, so I'm taking the sign with it. and then I have a minus 5 and a plus 2. So once you write them together, you can then split them up and do this. So I have 3 W's that are positive. I have 2 W's that are positive. I have 4 A's that are negative. I have 7 A's that are positive. I have 5 minuses, and I'm going to do these here. And I have 2 pluses. And then we get to combine like terms. So I have no 0 pairs here. There's no minuses, so I only have 5 W that are plus. Here I have a negative 4 and a positive 7, so I have 1 0 pair, 2 0 pairs, 3 0 pairs, 4 0 pairs. What am I left over with? I'm left over with 3 A's that are positive. Here I have 1 0 pair, 2 0 pairs, and I am left with a negative 3, and that is your final answer. Alrighty, let's do the next one. Use PEMDAS, order of operations. So PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Now, division is always going to look like a fraction. I'm only going to give you fraction. I can spell. All right, so parentheses first. You're going to solve this inside parentheses first. 6 minus 2 is 4. I'm going to bring down the 5. I'm going to bring down the plus. So now I have 5 plus 4. 5 plus 4 is 20, and that is your answer. So this is the order that it tells you to solve these questions in. All right, let's do this one. Parentheses, exponents, PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Go back to the other page that I did and look at the symbols. So we do parentheses first. 8 plus 2, that is 10. Bring down the minus, bring down the 6. Now the 6 is inside parentheses, but there's nothing for us to do inside of 6. It's just 6. Next thing we have is exponents. Do I have an exponent? An exponent is a little number on top. I don't have it. Next up is multiplication. I do have multiplication. I have 3 times 6 minus 10. So what is 3 times 6? 3 times 6 is 18. I still have the minus and the 10. So I'm going to say 18 minus 10. That is 8. And that is your final answer. Now this one here, you're going to treat it like this. You're going to do the numerator first. This is a trick question. And the reason this is a trick question is because it has 2 things in the numerator. So when you have 2 things in the numerator, you're going to want to combine first, if you can. So in this case, I'm going to combine first, which is 10 plus 2, which is 12. Then I'm going to have my negative 6. So now I have 12 divided by negative 6. These are opposites. Opposite is a negative. So then I have 6 divided by, I have 12 divided by 6, which means 6 times what is equal, negative 6 times what is equal to 12? And that is 2 with a negative. Here we have 3x plus 5 is equal to 8. Now these are 2-step equations. I will only be testing you on 2-step equations. Here we have the 3x. We need to get rid of this positive 5. So I'm going to subtract. Let me switch pens. I'm going to subtract 5 to both sides. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 3 here, and I have 3x here. 3 and x are attached by multiplication. How do I undo multiplication? I'm going to divide both sides by 3. When we cross things out, they don't actually just go away. That just means it's equal to 1. So when I have x is equal to 3 over 3, that means I have 3 divided by 3, or 1. So this is 3 times what is 3, and 3 times 1 is 3. All right, let's do another solving equation. Here we have x plus 5 divided by 4. So here we need to, I can rewrite it this way, you guys, if you want. X plus 5 divided by 4. is equal to 2. So I need to undo the divided by 4 first. So I'm going to times 4 both sides. So I have x plus 5 is equal to 8. I'm going to subtract by 5 both sides. So x is equal to 5, 6, 7, 8, 3. And this one here says 9x minus 1 is equal to 17. I'm going to, again, dotted line here. Here's my 9x. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So I have 18 is equal to 9x. 9 and x are attached by multiplication. So we're going to undo that multiplication by dividing by 9. Whoop, you can't see, I apologize. So I have x is equal to, and this is 9 times what is equal to 18. These are the same sign, positives on both, so that means my answer will be positive. And 9 times 2 is equal to 18. Let's see if we got any more. Oh, we got one more. So we have 6z minus 2z plus 10 is equal to 34. Here's my dotted line. The first thing I notice on this equation is that I have, let's put a line through them so they don't look like 2's. I have a 6z and I have a minus 2z. I have 6z's and minus 2z's. So that means you're going to combine like terms and you're going to have a total of 4z's. So if you have 6z's and you take away 2z's, you have 4z's left over. Now I still have this plus 10. So this one maybe is going to take us 3 steps. So this is step number 1, step number 2, and then we're going to have step number 3. Now we're going to put 4z in a bubble. I'm going to subtract 10 both sides. So I have 24 is equal to 4z. How is 4 and z attached? 4 and z are attached by multiplication. How do we undo multiplication? By division. So I'm going to divide by 4. So z is equal to, so 24 divided by 4 is 6. All right, beautiful people, that is it for your test number 2, for your exam number 2 on modules 1 through 3. As always, if I made a hiccup, let me know so that way I may correct it and learn from my mistake. If you want to go through this, definitely rewatch the video, slow it down, pause it. What I recommend is anytime you see a question, before you watch me do the question or before you watch me solve the question, try to do the question on your own and then go back and see if our answers match. As always, thank you so much for watching my video and I will see you in my next one. Bye!